Food vocabulary. Do you like to cook? Not really, no. Most of the time I eat ready meals and takeaways. That's one of the reasons I love visiting my mom. You can always guarantee lovely home-cooked food. What time do you usually eat dinner? We have our main meal around 7. I'm usually starving hungry by then. In fact, I often grab a bite to eat as soon as I get home from college, a sandwich perhaps, but not too much to spoil my appetite. Are there any types of food you don't like? No, not really. I'm not a fussy eater at all. Actually, I eat like a horse. I do a lot of sport and work up quite an appetite. Okay, this is a nice topic to talk about. There's a restaurant just around the corner from where I live. It's an Italian restaurant, so as you'd expect, you can eat various pasta dishes and pizzas, and I usually go there with my family for a slap-up meal if we have anything to celebrate. It's quite a posh restaurant, the kind of place you would take someone if you wanted to wine and dine them. We usually order a 3-course meal, a light starter, then a main dish. And I have quite a sweet tooth, so I always look forward to the dessert. I usually order tiramisu. It makes my mouth water just to think about it. I'm always totally full up by the end. Why do I enjoy it there? Well, it's not cheap. My parents always foot the bill, and we couldn't afford to go there regularly, so it's always a nice treat. How can we encourage people to eat more healthily? I think the best approach is to have everything in moderation. Processed food won't kill you if you only eat it occasionally. But people should also be encouraged to eat a balanced diet. Try to cook fresh ingredients at home a few times a week. Do you think people enjoy their food as much as they should? I don't know, really. I suppose it's true that people will often eat a quick snack because they're bored, not because they're dying of hunger. And often they just bolt it down and don't savor it. So yes, perhaps we could take more time over our food. Do you think cooking is a pleasure or a chore for people who have busy lives? Well, whether you follow a recipe or make something up as you go along, I think cooking is a very creative process. And cooking for other people is a particular pleasure. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing people you love tucking into something you've cooked yourself. A ready meal. See processed food. A takeaway. A cooked meal prepared in a restaurant and eaten at home. Home-cooked food. Food cooked at home from individual ingredients. The main meal. The most important meal of the day, usually eaten in the evening. To be starving hungry. An exaggerated way of saying you are very hungry. To grab a bite to eat. To eat something quickly when you're in a rush. To spoil your appetite. To eat something that will stop you feeling hungry when it's mealtime. A fussy eater. Somebody who has their own very high standards about what to eat. To eat like a horse. To eat a lot. To work up an appetite. To do physical work that leads to you becoming hungry. A slap-up meal. A large meal. To wine and dine. To entertain someone by treating them to food and drink. A 3-course meal. A meal that consists of 3 parts served one after the other. To have a sweet tooth. To enjoy sugary food. To make your mouth water. To make you feel very hungry for something. To be full up. To eat to the point that you can no longer eat anymore. To foot the bill. To pay the bill. Processed food. Commercially prepared food bought for convenience. To eat a balanced diet. To eat the correct types and amounts of food. A quick snack. To eat a small amount of food between meals. To be dying of hunger. An exaggerated way of saying you are hungry. To follow a recipe. To cook a meal using instructions. To tuck into. To eat something with pleasure.